Hi, this is Micah Clark with the American Family Association of Indiana. This is our first weekly video update from the Indiana General Assembly. We hope to do one of these every Friday, today being January 7th, which is the first week of the Indiana General Assembly. So I have several things to talk about today in the first week of the legislature. But remember, this is a short session of the Indiana General Assembly. The legislature will end by March 14th, we expect. So things happen very quickly and move very fast. So I would encourage you, if you're not receiving our weekly emails, which go out on Wednesday, to sign up for our weekly email at our website, afain.net. That's afain.net. Well, the first week of the legislature started off very quickly, and I want to talk to you today about three bills that we're watching, one of which has already had testimony, where I sat for 5 hours in the Indiana Senate Education Committee on testimony over critical race theory. Now, you may have heard that term. What critical race theory is, it essentially teaches children that they are responsible for the sins of the past based on their race, or that America is inherently racist. Now, no one says America was perfect, but we are not inherently racist. Let me give you a quick example of that. I can give you a reason why critical race theory is false in 2 words. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett created a fake hate crime, and that's really common in America. Every year there are dozens upon dozens of hate crimes that are faked by Americans who want to be victims for whatever reason. Let me ask you this, though. How many Jews in 1940 Germany had to fake a hate crime? How many of them vandalized their own property, spray painted their windows? The answer is 0. They didn't have to. In the last 3 decades, 4 million Africans, blacks, have immigrated to the United States legally. 3 million from Africa, 1 million from the Caribbean. How many Jews do you think immigrated to Germany in 1940? The answer is 0, because Germany was systematically racist. America is not. We've made mistakes, but teaching children that they are guilty of the sins of the past of America because of their skin color, or encouraging kids to be involved in Black Lives Matter or other political entities is not the purpose of schools, and parents are upset about it. You've seen news stories about it. So the legislature is trying to deal with this to allow, to require schools to teach basic history without indoctrinating children. And that's what these 3 bills do. Senate Bill 167 had a hearing on Wednesday. They will vote on this bill in the committee next week, we're expecting. They'll then go to the Senate floor for a further debate and a final vote. There's a companion bill in the House, House Bill 1134. House Bill 1134 is nearly identical to 167. They basically contain 3 things in each of these bills. First of all, they prohibit the teaching of the divisive material that pits children against each other based on their race, religion, national origin. There's 8 points in the bill on divisive content that schools should not get involved in. They also set up a curriculum review committee, which might be a little redundant because in the bill also is something I think is much better. And that is, it requires the schools to post curriculum on the school website so people and parents can see what the children are being taught in advance. That's very important. It's a good part of the bill. The third part of both of these bills, Senate Bill 167 and 1134, prohibits pornography in the classroom. It's defined as matter harmful to minors. That's been in our Indiana Code for years. Prosecutors, police officers, courts, they know what matter harmful to minor is. It's age-restricted material. The fact of the matter is, in Indiana, there's a loophole, and it needs to be closed. The loophole says, if I hand a child a pornographic magazine on the street corner to an underage kid under the age of 18, that's a crime. But if I hand that same pornographic material to a child in a classroom, that school cannot be prosecuted for that crime because schools are exempt from the law regarding matter harmful to a minor. This bill simply deletes that. It deletes a couple words prohibiting schools from being exempted from that issue. Now, a prosecutor, a judge would have to determine what matter harmful to minor was distributed to a child, But that enforcement should never be removed from a school where a teacher could hand a child or show something pornographic to a student. And that's a concern many parents have right now with some of the sexualized content kids are seeing in school. It was very interesting in the committee hearing on that on Wednesday. The Library Association opposed that section of the bill, but they had no real reason. They said they didn't think it was necessary. They said they didn't believe there was pornography in school libraries. So the author of the bill said, so why do you oppose this bill then? And they really didn't have an answer. The author of the bill, Scott Baldwin, is a police officer. He's dealt with this issue before. He knows this section of the code, and it's a very strong part of the bill. It needs to stay in the bill in 167 and 1134. Again, on Monday, the House Education Committee will have a hearing on 1134. I will be there to testify as well and support 1134. Now, in the midst of this, there's another bill that we've talked about quite a bit in our weekly email. That is House Bill 1040. House Bill 1040 is very comprehensive. It goes much farther than where 167 and 1134 are, particularly on the issue of enforcement. It has provisions in it that would allow the Attorney General to enforce this section of the law, which I believe is very good because it's an outside entity not connected with the schools enforcing the schools rather than schools policing themselves. Now, in all three bills, parents are allowed to sue a school if a violation has occurred. If they prove it in court successfully, their court fees could be paid. Now, that's a good thing. I don't know how many parents want to spend that time in a lawyer's office or a year-long court battle, but it is certainly helpful. I would prefer to see penalties in 167 and 1134, just like House Bill 1040 has. House Bill 1040 is the most comprehensive, most strongest bill on critical race theory, pornography, sexual content of any of these three bills. It's a very good bill. A hearing has not been scheduled on that bill. We're hoping it will be. So I would encourage you in this video to simply call your legislator and encourage them to support SB 167 in the Senate for your state senator. And that number is 317-232-9400. That's 317-232-9400. Call your state senator, ask them to support Senate Bill 167. In the House, ask them to support House Bill 1134 and House Bill 1040. The phone number for the House is 317-232-9600. That's 317-232-9600. Now, if you don't know who your state legislator is, that's okay. You can go to the Indiana General Assembly website, www.in.gov/legislative, or Google Indiana General Assembly. Go to the state website. On the front page below the picture of the State House is a link that says Find Your Legislator. You click on that link, you enter your home address, it will pull up your state senator, your state representative, and you can email them or call them. I would encourage you doing both on these three bills, Senate Bill 167, House Bill 1040, and House Bill 1134. Encourage them to support this. You know, nothing in these three bills, I want to say this because this is what one of the talking points of the opponents. They're claiming censorship. They're claiming this would prohibit teachers from talking about current events, teaching about slavery, teaching about the civil rights movement. That's utterly false. Nothing in any of these three bills changes the state standards on required history content that schools must teach. Schools must teach about Nazi Germany. They must teach about slavery. They must teach about the civil rights movement. Nobody has a problem with that. What schools should not be doing is indoctrinating children on modern political issues, telling them what to think rather than telling them how to think on issues like this rather than what happened historically. So there's nothing in this bill that should scare a teacher who's not trying to indoctrinate children with a modern political ideology like critical race theory. So again, I would encourage you to follow these videos, follow our weekly email on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, and our Telegram page under AFA of Indiana. Again, the numbers for the legislature: 317-232-9400 for the Indiana House. I'm sorry, the Indiana Senate. And for the Indiana House, 317-232-9600 for the Indiana House. You can also find your legislator at in.gov/legislative or Google Indiana General Assembly, and you can click on the Find Your Legislator and find out who your legislator is, email them there. You can also look at any bill on in the legislature. There's over 1,000 bills we expect to see. You can read Senate Bill 167, House Bill 1134, or House Bill 1040, or any other bill. We're looking at bills regarding protecting girls' sports. We're looking at bills on campus free speech. We're looking at pro-life legislation this session. We're looking at a whole host of things that affect Hoosier families. And we'll be talking about each one of those in my weekly email, which you can sign up for at afain.net. Again, this is our first time doing this, so we hope to do this every Friday. Appreciate you joining me. Again, this is Micah Clark, American Family Association of Indiana. Thank you.